All right. Welcome back to Taking a New Approach podcast. I'm so grateful to be here. I'm appreciative if you have clicked on this video. Like I always say in the beginning of my videos, it's a reason why you clicked on the video. The universe has a message for you. So go ahead and keep listening. Stay to the end because you never know when the message is coming. It's timeless, so you could keep coming back and getting new things. And trust me, it's just for you to really grow and become your better self. Okay. So, so I always start off in the beginning with a little bit of a breathing exercise. Basically, I just count to three. You breathe in, let it out. Again, one, two, three, breathe in, let it out, so that we center ourselves because your power is always in the now. It's never in the future, it's never in the past. Those don't exist. It's always constantly now. Okay. So I'm going to count to three, and then you breathe in, out again, and then I'll start the topic. Okay. So one, two, three, breathe in, blow it out. And again, one, two, three, breathe in and blow it out. All right. So, as you can see from the topic or the title that you clicked on of the video, it's going to be about worrying. And I just was, I kind of been in my little hermit mode, just being by myself, listening, just enjoying life and just allowing life to be. And I was listening to Alan Watts. And if you haven't heard of him, someone that is been in the new age for a long time, and he's not living anymore, but you should go check him out. He's definitely a good source to start if you really want to expand on your spirituality. But as I was listening to him, and I was, just listening to something to uplift my spirits and, just feed my spiritual body, my mind, my soul, and those different types of things. He was talking about just like none of this really matters. And that's when it really hit me because I grew up in a situation where, I guess you could say I was poor. I mean, it wasn't the worst type of poverty. It wasn't like abject poverty that I grew up in. Because, I mean, abject poverty is like you ain't got nothing. Like, But I did grow up in an area on the south side of Chicago where, a lot of people didn't have a lot of things. Now, I was fortunate enough to grow up with a grandmother and an aunt who lived in the same house as me, with my mother being there and my brothers and sisters, and they kind of handle a lot of the bills. We still struggled and we didn't have a lot of extra money past, certain stuff, but it still wasn't so horrible. But it did leave me with this problem of instability, right? That instability. And I know, especially nowadays, here in the US and around the world, people are struggling when it comes to just stability. And I want you to understand that you are everything that you seek. And the more that you prime your mind that you are this infinite intelligence. Now, if you are new and you just like, I'm a baby to this game, I don't know what you're talking about, infinite intelligence. Infinite intelligence is basically who we are. That's what created us. We are that. Okay? And you are only a spirit having a human experience, right? And as you get deeper into this, you will realize that, your physical body is actually a prison. You're not your physical body. This is all an illusion. And a great book to kind of help you to understand this is Abraham Hicks. It's Action is Given. I think that's a great way that you can start to get into it. That's how I did. But also another great book is The Holographic Universe by Michael Tabith. So that's Talbot. And that's another great book that you could read to help you understand who we really are. And it helps you understand that all of what you see around you is just a projection. And that projection can change as you change your mind. Now, of course, I got tons of books that I could tell you about, but it really made me think and really made me just center myself in my and feeling secure that everything is always working out. That's what I tell myself. This is all about your biggest battle with worrying, with anything in life, will be with you and your mindset, will be with the voice in your head, your ego talking to you all the time, telling you whatever, conditions, those conditions that you have accumulated over time. And I understand during this time period, it is something where it's hard for you. Maybe it is hard for you, or maybe you're just like a little bit lost, but you have to always remember your experiences have shown you that you can make it. I know it sometimes feel hard, trust me. Like if you knew here, like I literally I was going to be a teacher. I was a teacher. I ended up quitting my job because I really didn't like it. And on top of that, I had to figure out how I was going to make money because I didn't come from a trust fund. I didn't come from, have all this super support, because family members got bills too, right? I lost my apartment. I lost my car. I was sleeping on the floor of somebody else's apartment, trying to pay that without a job, paying late fees, but I was still somehow coming up with money. I was still somehow somebody was helping. The universe is always protecting us. And whatever you're going through, the more you worry, the worse it's going to get for you. But understand that you are creating all of your situations. And so it comes to you to understand that you have to look back. Like that's one thing that I have done that has helped me become, you know, more sure about myself and about what is really happening in my life is that I look at a lot of the situations and then I see like, you know what, I made it past that. I made it past that. And it's constantly just reaffirming to me all the time. I have to recognize that, and you have to start to recognize all of the times where you were in a crappy situation, but somehow it still passed and you're still here. You're still standing. Give yourself a pat on the back for still being able to stand where you are, even if it's not the place that you want to be. You got to learn, right, to become satisfied at that moment of where you are. I always say to be satisfied is not to settle. It's to be grateful in the moment. It's just to be grateful in the moment. That's it. And that gratitude brings more into your life. I could have easily gave up a long time ago. It's been a couple years and I'm still going because it will allow me the time to find out what I'm meant to be doing. I'm here because I am meant to go through the things so I can help you. I'm a healer. I'm a light worker. I'm an empath. I know this now, but it took time. It took work. And all of those experiences and the times, you feel like it's just not there and the loneliness and all of those things. A lot of that, use it to your advantage. It's time to get to know you. And worrying is only making it worse. It's only making it worse. You have to realize that worrying, I think I heard someone say, like, worrying is just praying to the devil. It's just a prayer to the devil. Right? Now we can get into what that really means, but just, for layman terms and layman concepts, we would just leave it there, right? It's always you're magnifying the worst in your life. And you have to see that whatever's happening is going to happen. And and always think in terms of why not the good in your life? Why can't good happen for you? Like so many of us are so addicted to the negativity because we've seen it in our reality, but it's because we were ignorant to the fact that we were controlling it. See, because that's how it works. Like you're trapped in what they call the matrix in this body, and you think that this body is what runs you, but your spirit runs your body. And you are able, as mind over matter, you are able to change these things. And it starts in the spiritual realm first, and then it starts to gain more weight and appear into this reality. So when it comes to worrying, whatever you got going on, bills and stuff like that, trust me, I understand. I make half of what I used to make. I live very meager, but I'm so much happier. I feel like I'm so much more abundant. I feel like I feel freer. And I'm not saying that's for you, but I'm saying get to a point where you always are assuming that it's going to be working for you. Because the one tip that really does is self-talk. Self-talk is the greatest thing you can do for yourself in this lifetime. Because it's not a time, like that's the key that most people don't want to tell you. You look at people and you see they crazy. Yeah, maybe the homeless guy on the street talking to himself, he might be out there, right? But if you're talking to yourself, reminding yourself, you constantly have to soothe yourself. I always say this is about self-love, self-care, and being gentle with yourself. You have to learn to be gentle with yourself. And I was one of the biggest people to beat up on myself. Oh, I don't look like this, or this person wouldn't do this for me if I didn't have this, or whatever it was, or I'm supposed to be here because this is what they say I'm supposed to be doing. Why aren't you doing this? Oh, you should be recording more. You should be doing this. Oh, you didn't read today. You didn't, like, constantly. But I always remind myself, hey, you know what? It's okay. None of this really matters. See, we give too much power to the things that's just an illusion. Because at the end of the day, if you couldn't breathe, I say this all the time. If you couldn't breathe, you wouldn't care about any of that stuff besides trying to get your next breath. That's it. So how much does this stuff really matter? You bleeding out on the ground, you ain't gonna be like, oh, but I can't pay my rent. Like, you're not gonna be worried about your rent if you bleeding out. Some of you might be like, oh man, I ain't gotta pay that rent. You might be happy. You'd be like, but being serious though, it's like that's how I kind of approach things. It's like at the end of the day, is this really the worst thing ever? And some of you might just have built it up where even after listening to this, you are gonna, it's still the bad is still gonna come in because it's something you have to go through that you have created. And that's okay. It did to me. I would listen to stuff, read stuff, and I was doing my affirmations. I was doing this, doing that, and still like, but now, like, here you go. Here's this trouble, right? But now I'm not worried about it. I know that I'm safe. I know that I'm protected. I know that the universe always has my back, right? I always say I want for nothing because I need nothing because I am everything. And you have to keep telling yourself that. The problem that you're having with worrying is because you do not want to go beyond your ego. You have to understand it's your ego because why are you worrying? If you have food on your table, if you're just meeting your bills, right? If you're just if everything if you're able to get it done, there's no need to worry. The only worrying is now is just ego because you want to be doing something else that you feel you should be doing. No, we are where we are supposed to be. And I'm not telling you not to expect more out of life. The reason that we worry is because we expect less. But it's not about, oh, you forcing it. It's about, okay, you know what? It could be worse. And you shouldn't have to have that mentality. But if that mentality can help you to eventually get you to the point where then it's just like, I'm grateful for where I am, what I'm doing, and it doesn't matter anymore what they say I'm supposed to have. See, you got to create your own standards. You got to create what you want in life, what you truly desire in life. That's the goal. Create. And it takes time to create something. You don't get mad If you're building a home, you don't get mad at them, oh, because they ain't building in a week or two. No, if you know it's gonna happen, you wait and you go, you check it out, you see what's going on, and that's kind of how this works in life. It's like whatever you're doing, you don't get mad because you go to work, you just got paid, and you're like, oh man, are they gonna pay me in another 2 weeks? Like, no, you already know that. You're not every day going to, payroll like, hey, did y'all put in my money for today's work? Like, no, you don't do that. You just know that it's gonna work. You get your results and you keep going. And that's how you have to look at life. I know we get into the noise of life. And the noise is what distracts us. But see, that's why when you worry, you know you are outside of who you truly are. You know that you are not focusing on the inner you. And you could be like, well, how do I focus on the inner me? Meditation. You focus on doing things that feed your spirit. What do you mean by feeding my spirit? You feed your spirit when you do things that uplift you. So whether that's dancing, whether that's listening to good music, and I mean good music, like real music. Like, I'm not here to knock the music of today's world, but I mean like stuff that's really positive. You can't be listening to I'm gonna shoot you up, this, that, and the third, or stuff that's like talking about taking their lives or grunge or whatever. That's not gonna uplift you. Okay? Like, you gotta understand, like, listen to that type of music. Classical music, things that actually work, because sound is a part, it creates the universe, and sound is very powerful. That's why music is very powerful. That's what they use to control you. And I say they because we don't know exactly who they are, but there is a battle going on for your mind, your body, your soul, your spirit. So understand that. And you don't have to be like, oh, well, if I do this, they're going to get. No, this is not a fear mongering. I don't like none of that. You create your reality. But you have to be aware of it. Like, oh, okay, if you know it's a fire over there, you're not going to walk in the fire. You just go the opposite way. Same thing. You're not going to sit up there and be like, oh, I just saw a fire. My life is over. No, you're just going to be like, oh, a fire. That's terrible. Call 911 if you can, or if you need to. Or you just go the opposite way so you don't get burned. Simple as that. Same way with life. Like, if you know something is being used to not help you and move you forward, you don't use it. Or at least you understand, so you're not sitting up there blaming other people. Because worrying is giving your power away. Stop giving your power away. Start holding on to it. Start empowering yourself. This is what this is. The reason why, if you like, oh, my manifestations, because you worry, because that what you seek is your master. Because whatever you seek is seeking you already. So don't give it your power to sit up there. Now it hold control of you, over you. That's a lot of people's issues. When I first got in this, it was all about, oh, manifestations, No, it's about us growing, becoming better and growing our elevation of the human consciousness. This is what this channel is about. Yeah, I'm gonna come on here. I'm gonna talk about a lot of different things to help you, whether it's through money, whether it's a lot of different things. But the goal is to help you grow, because we need that now. We need more people with compassion. We need more people with empathy and love, unconditional love, and gratitude, appreciation, with peace, inner peace, real peace. That's what we need. Everybody wants to just be, we all attracted to and so socialized to the negative, and that's where our worrying comes from. But what happens if we only was attracted to the positive? What happened if we only was like, you know what? Just good things are always just gonna happen for me, even when they bad. Okay, this is a good thing because it shows me now how I can overcome. Like, everything is half glass. The glass is half full versus half empty. It's going to be that type of reality. And I'm not saying this happens overnight. I'm not saying that it's just that simple just to turn on. No, it's work. Like, I put in work to get to this point. I put in work to feel this way. I put in work. I keep doing work. Like, I take the time. Yes, you're going to have to sacrifice some things. You're going to, like, oh, I have kids. I have this. Yes. But at the end of the day, what are you producing? Because you have to learn too. It's not just going to come to you. Everybody wants something for nothing. No, you wouldn't accept it in your life, especially in the date, especially in the dating world. Oh, you got to come correct. Everybody, all the guys got to be billionaires, and all the women got to look like the top model in the world. Dang near in this dating world, right? So if we can't come, if you can't come to say with nothing, why do you think that you will be rewarded from the universe just with nothing? Yes, you deserve everything that you truly desire. But you have to realize, okay, I'm worrying about something that, do you even really want? Do you really desire that? Because I realized I was going after things that I didn't really desire. It'd be cool, but that's going to feed my soul. And I wake up with the intentions of what feeds my soul, not what they told me I'm supposed to have, not what they told me or trained me to think is what success is. Success is whatever you decided to be. And as you start to understand this, you will undergo a transformation that will be beyond anything that you ever imagined. It will be something that is very magical, right? And that you will truly and simply adore when you get there, and you'll be satisfied. See, the point is to get is satisfaction. We get stuff, and then it's like, okay, that becomes our reality, and then it's like our normal reality, and then it's like, okay, what's next? It's nothing that's next. It's just being. We have to learn how to just be. And I'm getting to that point where now it's just like, I'm not worrying anymore. Like, whatever. It is what it is. If I keep making, if I make that mistake, then it was meant to be made, right? It's a learning lesson. But I'm not going to be worried anymore. I'm only expecting the good. And I expect you to expect the good. Why not? That's my question to you. Why not? Why can't you have the good? Stop worrying. Everything is working out for you. I just want you to hear this message. Stop worrying, because it's only going to give you what you truly don't desire. And that's not something we want you to have. Right? Like, it takes time to get to this point. I'm not going to sit up here and lie to you. I'm not going to make it seem like, oh, I just got here. I'm so great. Like, I just figured it out. No, it was a lot of times I cried. It was a lot of times I wanted to give up. And sometimes it's like, when things feel like they're not moving, they are spiritually, but sometimes we get caught in the humanness, and we have to let that go. You have to move beyond that if you want a life that's truly beyond what is normal, what is the, ordinary. If you don't want to be ordinary, everybody always like, I'm this, I'm that. Well, then you have to start to project that type of energy, that vibration out into the world. We're walking antennas. That's what we are. So what are you broadcasting into? All right. So I'm going to leave you with that. And I thank you so much for listening. Please subscribe. Please like. Please leave a comment that helps the channel grow. I'm new, so please let this resonate with you. Share it. If you want to get coaching lessons and stuff like that, all my information is in the description box. I love you so much. Everything will be all right. You are worthy. You are deserving of a better life. And it is coming. And it's already here. But you have to change your mindset. Okay? Change your mindset. Stop worrying. Nothing, all of this is an illusion. And the more you just keep telling yourself that, and the more you keep believing that, and the more you get focused on the things that make you happy and the things that feed your spirit, then the rest will take care of itself. I promise you that. I promise you that. I've been through it. I'm not saying this from just reading the book. I'm saying it from reading the books, watching the documentaries, and actually going through it. Actually falling on my face multiple times. Like, I know this. I know it works. Okay? Love you much, and I'll talk to you on the next episode.